Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Hope you had a great weekend. It's another interesting week in the markets. We're in the heart of earnings season and there is a lot going on geopolitically. So with that, let's get into today's video. We always start off with a look at the Russell Index. I use the Russell as my simple proxy for the markets overall in order to keep these videos short. So as long as the Russell is continuing its uptrend and going higher, we identify that by price being up and over the 8-day EMA, which is this blue line, then we're putting new names forward for our watch list. And so this blue line represents very long-term support down here that goes back a very long way. But we've been keeping an eye on this pattern up here. We've got the candle now for the month of April complete. Bit of a wick at the top, wick at the bottom. And here's where we opened for the month of May. I'm keeping this black line in here because it sort of represents this wedge and price moving higher wicks. So it suggests a little bit of struggle in this area, but we will see how it gets resolved. For now, price is moving higher. So that's the look on the monthly. Let's go take a look at it on the 1-year weekly. And there's our same orange line. This is more weekly support. This is our big long-term line. But I like this trend line here. You want to note that last week we had a little bit of a struggle with a wick, but we'll see if we can maybe move through there this week as things develop. So we'll see. I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the daily chart. So there's the daily chart. As you can see, price is up and over that 8-day EMA on the daily. So we will be putting a new chart forward for our watch list this morning. And so the new name we're going to add to our watch list this morning is Raymond James Financial, ticker symbol RJF. A lot of you might be familiar with this company. They are a large brokerage firm. They operate in the United States, Canada, Europe, and it has a very large private client group as well. At Chart of the Day Cafe, it is all about value. And Raymond James has an excellent value score. Second thing I look for is growth. Raymond James has a current forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 16%. Third thing I look for, it's not a must like value and growth, but in this case it's there, and it's a dividend yield. So the current dividend yield on Raymond James is 1.17%. So with that, let's get into PE of 15.45. Always want to mention that PE. So let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 5-year monthly. First thing I want you to note is overall uptrend, which seems to be accelerating now in the last year and a half. We're forming this kind of wedge pattern here, and we're at an area of support. So I'm going to move it away from the monthly to the 1-year weekly so we can better see how price is behaving. So we have this orange line of support drawn in here. We had a doji last week, but with price strength coming into this name this week, we will start to see the 8-day EMA move up and under price supporting it, and perhaps that uptrend continuing. So I like the look of the long-term chart. I like the look of the 1-year weekly chart. Let's go take a look at it on a daily. We have this double touch of our trend line. It's past earnings. Earnings were good. We had a doji yesterday, and so doji means indecision. We'll see what the market decides today, but if RJF moves higher from here and it's actually got a 3 and 8 EMA right now. I'm going to zoom in. So here's we like to use our 3 and 8. Just if you're new to Chart of the Day Cafe, we always like to see price on our watch list picks move up and over the blue 8-day EMA. But the pink is the 3. So we've got the 8 and the 3. When the pink crosses over the blue, we are interested. When it crosses below, we are not. So whether you're using it weekly or daily, it's up to you. I prefer daily, but I just want to zoom in on this area so that you can see we actually do have the pink over the blue, and we do have that cross. So today I will be watching Raymond James to see if we get some sort of a bullish candle that would suggest, like the weekly chart, that maybe price is going to start moving higher. We will see. Whenever we put a new name forward for our watch list, we always like to check the sector that it's in. And Raymond James is in the financial sector, so we are looking at XLF, which is the ETF for that sector. We're stepping back to take a look at it on a 5-year monthly. What I want you to see overall is that uptrend, just like Raymond James Financial. Price momentum has been picking up of late, so the pitch of the price chart is sloping higher, and we're coming into this wedge area right here. So price direction should be decided soon. I'm going to be moving it from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly. And just like Raymond James, it's not quite a doji, but it had that lift. XLF had that lift. It's starting to move up and over our 8-day EMA, and price started here this week. So we might see a continuation of that uptrend and price start to move higher here. We will see. I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the daily. So we're looking at the 6-month daily. You can see that price broke out of this downtrend, and we had a doji just like Raymond James on the XLF. So we'll see if we get some positive price momentum, but I like the way price is starting to move up and over that blue line, which is our 8-day EMA. We also like to look at the seasonality of our watch list pick, and for that we always go to equityclock.com. Excellent site. And so here's the seasonal chart for Raymond James Financial. You can see that in May it has a little bit of a tick down, but for the most part this month is the beginning of consolidation perhaps through the summer and then trending higher through the back half of the year. No guarantee that happens this year, but always nice to know those things. Also like to go to FinViz. There's some interesting articles here. I'm going to include one of them with today's video, but what I want you to see first is a recent analyst upgrade. Sorry about that. Let me get it into my screen so you can see that Numera upgraded Raymond James in January from neutral to buy. And then why am I putting it forward as opposed to other charts? I like the sector and the look of the sector, but I'm going to include this. Moody's may be upgrading Raymond James, so that would, I would assume, put some upward price pressure on the stock as well. So take a look at this article. I will include it with today's video. And so to summarize, let's go back and check our boxes for RJF. We started off by looking at the Russell Index, and we note that the Russell Index is in an overall uptrend, and price is up and over the 8-day EMA, which is our blue line on the daily chart. We looked at the sector that Raymond James is in, XLF, which is the ETF for the financial sector. We can see that it's in an uptrend on the 5-year chart and at an area of possible lift on the 1-year chart. RJF is in an uptrend on the 5-year chart, and as XLF at an area of possible lift and support on the 1-year. It's got an excellent value score. These two are highlighted because for me at Chart of the Day Cafe, they're absolute musts. So excellent value score, excellent growth score with a current forecasted earnings growth rate of 16%, current dividend yield of 1.17%. It does have a 3 and 8 EMA daily cross, so we've got that checked. Seasonality in its favor, analyst support. We can see that Numera recently upgraded Raymond James. Current PE of 15.45. Its past earnings, I will include this article about earnings. It was an earnings beat. As a reminder, I just wanted to say, if you like these videos, please subscribe to our channel by hitting the red subscribe button. Would love to see our viewership go up. It's all about putting the very best value and growth stocks we can find in front of you every Tuesday and Thursday morning. Have a great next couple of days, and we'll put our next video out on Thursday.